Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk about something different. I feel like there isn't a lot of commentary on UO PvP or Outlands in general, and while I feel like that it's impossible to represent any aspect of a server as big as Outlands as an individual, I wanted to focus on my personal experience in the past year and give my outlook on it. I feel like many PVMers, which make up the majority of this shard, have a negative view towards PvP or use it purely defensively, and I would like to encourage anyone who has been hesitant to try it to give it a shot. The right people can really make something seemingly toxic be really fun. When I first came back to UO, the first thing I did on Outlands was make a factioner. I got thrown into the mix with my guild and Pravalia, and very quickly saw fights bigger than anything I was used to in UO. The sheer amount of AoE plays with Meteor Swarm and Chain Lightning was a drastic contrast to the smaller scale fights from older shards, and I was instantly taken aback and happy with just how thriving UO is in 2024 at the time. A lot of my old habits and mentality were still in my head. I miss Alki Stun, why do Reds have it so hard, blah blah blah. After I shook off the rust and learned the current meta for dueling, the desire to become a strong player took over and I was hooked. I have a theory that every PvPer deep down has some person they idolized when they were young and bad at playing UO, and they saw some badass PK or factioner and made it their goal to one day be that guy. It's kind of like a nerdier, watered down version of Don't Meet Your Idols when you realize the wizard you were idolizing was likely some degenerate with a personality disorder who decided to make it everyone else's problem. Years later, you finally have the cognitive and physical ability to be competent enough to be that guy, and the journey begins. If I can give any advice to anyone who really wants to get stronger at PvP across the board, it's to duel. I know it might not necessarily even be the template you play, but dueling will give you a deep and intimate knowledge of the timings of spells, interrupting, and weapon cooldowns. You have a breaking point after enough duels where you start to feel like a dominant presence in the field, even if you're not necessarily winning all the time. Which leads me to my next point. No one is winning all the time. I don't care how good you think you are at this game. Limo said it better than I could. But basically, leave the ego shit at the door. Anyone can beat anyone. You're not that amazing. No one is special. Everyone has 100 HP. Illusions of grandeur have plagued Ultima Online for years. There are very few groups of players that perform consistently to even be able to claim they're the best, and newsflash, none of them do that. The easiest way to get better at Ultima Online PvP is to learn how to lose with dignity. Lose, resurrect, restock, and get back out there and think about what you might have messed up to get to this point. I promise you there are so many people out there that are scared to lose, they just don't grow because they don't put themselves into situations where they might lose. Everyone can lose. Even the strongest players from the strongest groups that I hinted at earlier can get dropped. So don't be so scared of your fragile ego being destroyed because you lost the game. To avoid playing it altogether or only in situations where you'll win easily. Fight the uphill battles. Fight the uneven odds. Learn to fight when it feels completely stupid to do so. Eventually you'll be free from all the negative aspects of this game and you'll reach a state of bliss where you just have fun, win or lose. Laugh when some idiot red posts your corpse in PvP chat. Tell someone they did something good to beat you. Giggle when you feel flattered that someone is spending their precious time res killing you instead of doing something productive. It's just pixels. While I'm constantly focused on my own improvement as an individual player and a caller, I have almost entirely divorced myself from Tilt. This has its exceptions, sure, no one is perfect, but I don't enter any event with expectations other than to enjoy myself, and sometimes we win and sometimes we don't. Accept the fact that there are players and groups who are better than you and appreciate them. The opportunity to fight them is an opportunity to find holes in your strategy and things to work on. Get used to fighting the people better than you, and your peers will slowly turn into fodder. Moral of the story is, if you've been a little hesitant to get out there and PvP, or you just don't think it's for you, or you think the community is too toxic, or some of the people suck, some of them do, but if you just learn to ignore them, I really think you can find an aspect of gameplay that has, quite frankly, kept this game alive prior to Outlands, because PvM and Ultima Online was terrible up until this point. All we had was PvP, and honestly, there's a reason a lot of us enjoy it so much. So get out there and fight.